Terra Firma, the 72nd Doctor Who main range Big Finish release, first released in 4 parts for CD and download in August of 2005, and written by Joseph Lidster. Following on from the previous Doctor Who 8th Doctor serial story, The Next Life, the 8th Doctor, voiced once again by Paul McGann, and his companions Charley Pollard and Keris, voiced by India Fisher and Conrad Westness, find themselves back in our universe. However, they aren't exactly given a chance to catch their breath, as they've ended up in a corridor and a hall full of Daleks, voiced once again by Nicholas Briggs. And yeah, that's a problem in and of itself, but there's also the Emperor Dalek, voiced by Terry Malloy. The Emperor Dalek is, of course, Davros, but Davros is suffering from a little bit of a Jekyll and Hyde scenario in that he wants to separate himself from the Daleks, and he's built a clone of his body so that he can just escape from the Daleks, just have a normal life. But the Daleks aren't exactly that willing to let him go. Meanwhile, Charley and Keris end up escaping from the Daleks and end up befriending a group of humans including Harriet Griffin, voiced by Julia Deakin, Samson Griffin, her son, voiced by Lee Ingleby, and Samson's sister Gemma, voiced by Lizzie Hopley. And they are members of a resistance movement, and at first it doesn't really seem as though they care much about being a resistance movement, as when Charley meets them, all they really want to do is just party. Like, Harriet Griffin believes that if the Daleks, this is eventually revealed to be Earth, and, well, basically she said to them, well, if the Daleks are going to take over everything, we might as well just have a party and just enjoy ourselves while we can. Meanwhile, Samson Griffin, her son, seems very kind of bitter towards his mother, and it's eventually revealed that he and his sister used to travel with the Doctor. Short, as something that's been removed from the Doctor's mind, reveals that Samson and Gemma had encountered the Doctor in a library while he'd been looking for an Agatha Christie, or just looking for something interesting to read, and they had travelled with him for a while until shortly before the events of Storm Warning, which I have already reviewed. I'll stick a card around somewhere up here when I remember to do so. And shortly before the events of Storm Warning, something had happened to separate them, and Samson had eventually returned home to be with his mother, but Gemma had continued travelling with the Doctor, and things had happened. Now, one of the things I do actually want to talk about with this particular story that I do actually like is the inclusion of 2 more actors, Julia Deakin and Lee Ingleby. Now, Julia Deakin voices the kind of landlord owner of Harriet Griffin, and the main reason I want to talk about her is that she actually does fit into a kind of category that I tend to group with Doctor Who actors, and with her, she fits into the Cornetto category, because Julia Deakin actually appeared in the Cornetto trilogy. Like, she had a very brief cameo in Shaun of the Dead as, I believe, Yvonne's mother, but then she had a much meatier role in Hot Fuzz, where she played Mary Porter, the pub landlady. Do you remember her? She's like, they listed her age as 55, when actually I'm 53. Like, remember that? Yeah. Hot Fuzz is a great place to find former or future universe actors. Just with Hot Fuzz alone, I believe you got Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, Bill Nighy, Jim Broadbent, Timothy Dalton, Anne Reid, Michael Wisher, and Olivia Colman. And now also, knowing that Julia Deakin is in here and that she was in Hot Fuzz and now she's got a role in Doctor Who, it's nice to hear. I believe this was before she appeared in Hot Fuzz. This was 2005, and I believe Hot Fuzz came out in 2008, I think it was, but there you go. It's just nice to hear her and have her in Doctor Who in some form. And the other one is Lee Ingleby, who voices her son Samson Griffin. And the main reason I want to talk about him is that he actually fits into the Harry Potter set, because, like Harry Potter is any long-running franchise, it did have a few actors who did appear up in Doctor Who, such as Michael Gambon, Helen Mulcahy, Warwick Davis, Sir John Hurt. There are a ton, but he apparently played the character of Stan Shunpike, i.e. the night bus conductor in Prisoner of Azkaban, and in the series he later joins the Death Eaters. But once again, while he didn't appear on screen in Doctor Who, it is nice that we get another Harry Potter actor within the world of Doctor Who. You know what? I'm happy enough with him here. Overall, I don't think this is one, as I've said with other stories, I don't know if this is one of the greatest, but it does present some quite good things in terms of the obstacles, in terms of the story. I mean, just having the idea of an unseen set of companions that the Doctor travelled with, that's interesting enough. And even just some of the turmoil that you see Davros going to, trying to battle two sides of his mind, the Davros side and the Dalek Emperor side, I think this is a good story to reintroduce the Doctor and his companions back into our universe. It ends with the Doctor and Charley heading off to enjoy Blackpool. And Kerris stays behind aboard the TARDIS just to sleep, having gone through a lot. But then he starts kind of dreaming of people he has lost, people who are dead, who he's seen die, people like his partner or his wife Lyda, also a Dalek and other characters whom he's ultimately seen die, and like their voices are talking to him. Like, how is he going to save the Doctor and Charley eventually? He's like, well, I will do at some point, but for now, all of you, please quiet down. I wish to sleep. So, as I said, overall, I don't know if Terra Firma is one of the best stories, but I don't know. Have a listen for yourself and see what you think of it. Anyway, the next Doctor Who Big Finish story I'm coming to, Scaredy Cat. I'll happen with that one? Well, we'll have to wait and see. Till then, see ya.